All right, Chris, that took a second. Hey, the Lions finally get some good news. Doesn't it
Nice.
feel like we've just been getting hit with bad news after bad news? You
Yep.
got Frank Ragnow coming. He's now retired again, right? Like we lose to the Packers. We got the St. Brown injury. We got all
Bears are
these things
winning.
that are the Bears keep winning, right? We lose to the Packers. I mean, like it's bad news after bad news. And we finally actually get a couple of things that are good news. One is tangible, and the other one is one that actually you reminded me about that we're going to talk about a little bit later in the video. And I think that's good. So, for the first one, what I want to talk about right now, I want to talk about Amon-Ra St. Brown. All right. Did yours go weird when I just did that?
There we
There we
go.
go.
I'm back. I'm
All
back.
right, it's there. All right, Amon-Ra St. Brown. All right, I'm going to start with what Jimmy says. Jimmy Lau is an MD. All right, and he's talking about in this video, he was rolled up on from the inside. Okay, he was rolled up on the inside of the angle, and it was a little obscured. But in order to do that, your legs have to be like separated. And so what he's saying is it looks like educated guess would say that this would be a low ankle sprain. Now, the high ankle sprain can keep you out anywhere from 3 to 6 weeks, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like we've seen it. Cade Cunningham, Detroit Piston. Remember that a couple of years ago when he got a sprained ankle and he was out for like 2 months?
Yep.
That was nuts his rookie year. And then Tom Pelissero. Here's the beautiful news. Lions wide receiver Amon-Ra St. Brown is believed to have suffered a low ankle sprain Sunday, sources say. And while he continues to be evaluated, it's good news on far of his chances for returning sooner than later. The Lions play just one game in the next 16 days. That's against Dallas. So while this doesn't mean that he will be back for the Dallas game, he will very likely be back for the game after that. Chris,
Okay.
how do you feel about this? Is this something that's just
Well,
needed, or is that not soon enough?
no, that's perfect. I mean, I think we all were just like, all right. And remember, we got this Thursday to Thursday. So that
Yeah.
Thursday after that, you usually get that mini bye. Well, we're going to get our
Mhm.
mini bye after Dallas, which is just much needed. We're going to have
Yep.
a crazy stretch run. So, yep, fine. Get him out. That's why this Dallas game is such a survive in advance.
It's
Survive,
huge for
win.
both teams.
Oh my gosh. The loser is out. It's crazy. I mean, the loser will
Maybe.
have a really hard time making it, but the winner just fine. I mean, really,
Yeah.
the more that the games have started to settle in at the time of this recording, we got some games going on, but for the most part, that's why this is so huge because it buys us another week. We win
Yep.
without St. Brown. We get St. Brown back. All the things add up once we win this game, if we can. And so this is great news because yeah, let's say he misses one game. You know, that's the whole thing that we've talked about a ton on this channel is last year, we know injuries happen. It's the season enders that we had last year. So it's like St. Brown has been so reliable. So for him to miss 2, 3, 4 games in his 4 years that he's been here, whatever it is, that's like totally understandable. And no one's
Mhm.
upset about that.
Yep. Yep.
It's so yeah, this is not like no one is, it's just we hate those season enders. So I'm good with this.
You're good with it. So yeah, I mean, and that's what happens. And people get hurt. And we haven't had a wide receiver injury that's been important yet. I mean, that's the way I would at least look into
Mm-hmm.
it. So St. Brown he's been a guy that has continually played through the difficult things. I mean, he's got a lot to prove. I mean, he had a dad that demanded a ton of him. So I think even when he is hurt, he plays anyway. I
Yep.
think there's just something built in him that has to prove that he's the toughest guy in the room, no matter where he's at. Like
Oh, dude. And
that is something that has become so clear about Amon-Ra St. Brown since he's become a Lion. It's annoying at times, but for the most part, when it comes to playing football, it's really cool to see.
100%. And I know he's going to be good. Now, here's some other good news. You and I were talking about this. Is other good
Okay,
news is that
round two.
as these um, games come in, we're just looking at different. It's so competitive, and there's so many people beating up on each other. And it looked like for a second, it's like, oh my gosh, the Rams are going to be the number 1 seed. They're probably going to win the Super Bowl again. Like they're so unbelievable. And then boom, they lose to the Panthers.
So the Panthers.
So your thoughts on just like, okay, we all need to just, I know we were highly emotional. It's the classic Thanksgiving. You're eating more than you should. You got too many sweets in you, a couple beers in you, you're pissed. And then it's like, all right, hold on, we're fine. And so your thoughts on just the teams are going to be playing each other. We're going to be beating each other up. Like there's a lot of time left. Like there's not, but
Mhm.
we're not just, we're fine. But we're not totally. It felt like we're just out of the playoffs. Like we could be okay here. Is where I'm going with this.
Yeah, we could be okay here. We could be, because weird things happen. And teams that are pretenders and not real contenders get really bad right now.
That's right.
Like, that's just the way it happens. We've seen teams slide. All right. So, for example, do you remember, it wasn't that long ago, just 2 years ago, when the Eagles lost like their last, 5 games or something like that? I think they barely snuck in the playoffs, or maybe they missed it entirely.
No, they made it and just got crushed by Tampa.
They got obliterated by Tampa, right? Tom Brady and Tampa. And that might have been 3 years ago. But anyways, I'm sitting here. The Eagles are 8-4. They may fall all the way back.
Yes.
They may end 10-7. Like, that's not that crazy. The Bucks and the Panthers could fall back. Like, I don't know what's going to happen. The Packers could come back to life. You just never know when it comes to the NFL. You don't. And 49ers and Rams and Cowboys and Seahawks and us and the Packers and the Bears. By the way, the Bears are the number 1 seed if the playoffs started right now.
Oh man.
That's not good news. That stinks. That is stupid. But that is my point. Like, at any point, the Bears, I could see them losing the next 4 games in a row.
That's right. Yep.
Like,
100%.
Even with them being 9-3 and having the current number 1 seed, look at this. This is the kind of stuff that is kind of crazy to me. Even with it, they still aren't projected to make. They have a 76% chance of making the playoffs. It's only 76.
Yes.
Because people know. But, like, look at how many crazy things. Okay, let's look over at the AFC side. You notice anything weird over here? Like where my cursor is? Who would have thought 2 weeks ago that the Jaguars would be number 1 in the AFC South and not the Colts?
Right. 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. It was an insurmountable lead. The Colts are going to win the division. Like, there's no way anything else happens. Now, the Jaguars are in first, and I would say the Texans have the best chance to win that division.
Yes,
the Texans just beat the Colts, right? They have another game against the Colts, but they have a favorable schedule going forward. And I'm just like, oh, maybe the Texans will make it. The Bills are sitting here, and everything goes crazy. So, yes, I think you're right. It is good news. Let's not look too much, but we are in a position that I don't like. So I want to ask you a question. This is a little off. It's not off topic. It's on topic, Chris.
Yeah, love it.
When all right, I'll pull this back up. When you know that the Cowboys, the 49ers, the Packers, the Seahawks, these are all teams, even the Eagles a little bit and Bucks, that are ahead of us, do you actively root for those teams to lose so that we can make the playoffs? Or do you not concern yourself with that and you're one of those guys who only worries about your team?
Definitely want them to lose, and especially if it's an obvious one where you don't have to do a lot of thinking. Let's say the Seahawks are playing an AFC team. Like, duh. Yeah, come on. Let's go Broncos, beat the Seahawks or whatever, right?
Yeah.
If it's one I have to give too much thought to, or let's say it's the Seahawks playing the Niners, and I'm like, okay, what we really need here is a tie. It's like then you're just like, whatever, that the outcome there doesn't really matter. But yeah, if it's an obvious one that's like that would really help. Absolutely. How about you?
Yeah, 100%. I'm rooting for him to lose. Yeah. 100%. Like, I am rooting for the Packers to lose every game going forward, because even though they have the tiebreak over us, they have a tie game. So the tiebreak means nothing. We just have to move past them in the standings.
Right. That's right.
Right. I'm rooting for the Bears to lose every game. I am rooting for the 49ers hard to lose every single game they have left, which is weird because I always liked the 49ers as like my number 2 AFC team growing up. But I don't even like them anywhere close to the Lions, right? So, yes, I am rooting for those. There's some teams where I'm just like, I don't know how we catch them. I mean, the Rams. But hey, lose a couple more games, and if we beat you, we do catch you. Like, it's just really hard. I find it to be, what's the word I want to say? It gets kind of frustrating when you're rooting for all the best teams in your conference to lose, because they usually don't.
That's right. It's just like, have a thought of like, oh, that was a good, like today. It's nice to see the Panthers, but same thing there. It's like, well, Panthers, I don't want them. You can go a little too deep with it because the Panthers all of a sudden are right on our heels, but I'm not worried about them.
Yeah. So, all right, couple of other things for you.
Yeah.
I think what happens is what this really goes down to, and what I think this really boils down to is we can root for all the other teams to lose if we want. We need to win.
That's
Right?
right.
Like not we, but the Lions need to win, and we need to go get a win against Dallas. That's the first start. Really, only 5 days away, not 4 days, right? And so we first need to start with a win against Dallas, get ourselves in the correct position to make a run. I think if we keep winning games, the rest is going to take care of itself.
100%.
I really do. But in order for us to start winning, we need some players to start playing a little bit better and some players to keep it up. And there's an area that I think is a struggle, and I'm going to show you this. This is an article that talks about our top 5 and bottom 5 players from the Packers game based on their PFF grades. I just want to get into this. I thought this would be a fun exercise. See if there's anybody that you're like, I did not see that name there. All right, top 5 offense. Number 1, not even close. Jameson Williams, 91.2. And there was at least one drop in there, right? At least one drop. Jared Goff was number 2, Penei Sewell, Tate Rutledge, and then look who made the list.
Yeah.
Tom Kennedy. Can you believe that?
Well, what's funny is if you actually go to the bottom 5
You
is
want to see it?
how shockingly not surprising. Like these are guys those are the guys we just kind of threw in there. And then to see our center with that kind of grade just shows you some of the missed stuff. And I mean, I saw a clip where he was doing some of that stuff that we saw in that Green Bay game when the first week of the season. Remember when guys were going the wrong way, and he had a couple of those, and it's just like, well, and that's how competitive the NFL game is and how in tune they all are. And is you make one misstep and the Packers just blew the whole thing up. And it's like, oh, we need Graham Glasgow back. We need some tight ends to get back. What are we doing? Oh my!
Well, that's the problem. Laporta's not coming back, right?
Right.
And Brock Wright can come back and give us a 56 grade. You know what I mean? But like, oh boy, that is the one thing that scared me about the bottom 5 offense. It's all tight ends, and there's nothing we can do about it.
That's right.
Like, and that's the kind of the same thing that we talked about in the past. And we'll go to the defense in a second. You're right. Those are the things we care about. Chris, can this team make a run without like what is the solution? I have a couple thoughts myself, but what is the solution when you don't have a good receiving tight end?
Oh my gosh. So that's
Green Bay figured it out, by the way, in week 3 without their tight end against us.
Dude, seriously.
Figured it out.
That's where you brought this up. I don't remember, we were talking about it, but basically that's why chipping or blocking or give more time or use that. Maybe they can't block, but we just kind of,
if you can't block, you can still chip.
You can still chip. You can still stay in there a little bit. Then be kind of a leak out. So yeah, it's a hard pill to swallow to not have a good tight end. That is something we take for granted. Even when we had what's his name that we traded to the Vikings, Hawkinson.
Yep.
Like, when we upgraded from him to Laporta, even that upgrade felt, wow, this dude is so good. It's so nice to have. And when you see a bad tight end or just an average NFL, not even average, just a body,
just a dude,
it's hard to know what to do with them. Where do they go? What can you do? What can you help us with? So it's tough for sure.
But there are a lot of teams that have successful offenses with bottom half talent at the tight end position. It is absolutely doable, but they need to be able to, you need to at least have to have a tight end that can block. And right now we don't even have tight ends that are blocking well.
That's right.
So that, I think, for me is kind of the main struggle. All right, let's go. You ready to go to the defensive side?
Yeah, let's check that out.
Bottom 5 or top 5?
Bottom. What's the bottom going to look like on this one?
Here's the bottom right here.
Okay.
All right. Shocker. After we talked about how our best defensive tackle has been Roy Lopez, right? He wasn't. Thomas Harper finally came back to earth after having multiple good games at safety. Amik Robertson continues to be terrible. Over the last month, he has been atrocious. And then here's the guy. This is the linchpin. I don't know if you've noticed this, Chris. When Alex Anzalone has a good game, this defense is lights out. When he has a bad game, and he can be pretty streaky, this defense really struggles. What stands out to you in the bottom 5 defense?
Well, when I see Anzalone at that, it's like, okay, he should never be that low because we should be attacking. What it feels like in this man to man is like we are reacting to them. So right, so like Anzalone's out running, chasing the running back, or he's chasing the running back, goes out in motion, and there he goes. And it's like, no, this is our defense that we play, and we're gonna do like a shell defense, or I'm not even saying we do that. I'm just giving an example. All right, we're blitzing. We don't care who's out. We don't do whatever you want with your running back. Send them in motion. We are going to come after you versus like they can just, it feels like they can take Anzalone right out of the play.
Right out of the play.
Yeah. LaFleur's just sitting back there laughing his head off because he's just like, why don't we take? So that's why I don't like seeing, that's what jumps out to me as Anzalone being low.
Pretty well said. And you're right. Like they run the running back out to the boundary. Right? Almost like he's subbing out.
Yes.
And he's so close to the sideline. And then Anzalone's completely out of the play. And you're like, well, that's dumb. All right, let's look back at this for our top 5 defense. Here you go. Brian Branch. Good to have him back playing.
Good to have him. Derek Barnes. Good.
Derek Barnes. Elkady Muhammad, even though he barely played. Aiden Hutchinson and Tyleek Williams were on our top 5, but they did not grade out well.
That's right. That's a top 5, but in relation to the rest of the NFL, that's, if you just did a power ranking of all the players on defense, they're going to be sitting at 64. It's like, okay. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think this tells the story. We had some players on defense that played really bad and really no players that played really good. And so I think the thing for me, I don't see that happening another week. I think we step up. I will go back to the more good news here. I think we line up better with physical, kind of more technical receivers than we do speed receivers. I think our DBs are a little bit better. So the CeeDee Lamb Pickens matchup is really, really difficult, but I think we match up better with those receivers than most teams probably do. I would struggle more if it's the really quick, kind of quick.
No, the Packers receivers are the exact ones that are just no good. They're just Romeo Dobbs. Like it's just going to be, what are you doing, man? Like he's not a pro. Oh, he is, but I know exactly what you're saying. That pro style NFL wide receiver. I feel like we can do some better than just like, I have no idea what you're not going deep. You're not going short, Romeo. You're going across the field. That's all I know. So just get ready. And
you're going to be somewhere and your head's massive.
Yep. And Jordan Love's just going to fade back. And it's like, oh my gosh, he's just going to, and he just throws it to him. And you're like, oh, it looked like
we had lost him by 2 or 3 yards. The throw doesn't even have to be terribly accurate.
And it's
Amik Robertson with your 46 PFF grade.
Dude. Amik.
Sorry, I like Amik. I do, but I don't like the way he plays. I just don't. Nope. And I love the junkyard dog mentality. But the reality is, when you just consistently get beat in the one thing you're supposed to be good at as a corner, which is sticky man coverage, you can't be around that long. Like, at what point are we going to realize that Rock Ya-Sin has to come in,
dude? And 100%. And that's
just do it.
And that's the whole thing. It's like, okay, that is why you have that junkyard dog thing, is because you're just not as good. And so you got to be this scrappy thing. And by the way, another sign I'm getting older, these guys with like the undershirts that are hanging out like a dress, it's like, that doesn't make sense. Especially you get a pass if you're on defense, but the offensive guys, JMO, who just have the, Hey, defense.
Grab onto this, please.
Yeah, I got a little extra for you to grab.
Montgomery does that too.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, there you have it. You heard it here first. Chris hates the long undershirt. I just want to make that clear. All right. Hey, that's it for us. Thanks for watching. Again, leave comments below. Hit that subscribe button. It's been awesome. You guys have been hitting comments like crazy lately. Keep that up. We're learning a ton from you, giving us great things to talk about. See you on the next one.
See you.